What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 15th of February, 2015. Sorry I'm a day late, but I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. Let's get to the news. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Blogspot post. That's where you can find all of this week's madness that I'm about to give you. Let me start off with breaking news on CNN right now. Terror attack in Copenhagen. One person gets killed. It's a terror attack. I'm not even going to report on that. Those people wouldn't last a day in St. Louis City. What I found interesting this week is how many mainstream media people are getting railroaded, either supposedly killed or, in all sorts of weird accidents. Let's just get started. Brian Williams suspended from nightly news for 6 months. Brian Williams, who apparently lied about the chopper attack, he is just being railroaded. Scandal. Was he promised a spot in the dumb? Is that why he's being taken out? Is something big about to happen? Because look at this. Net Colt, NBC News journalist, dies in Boston at 58. Okay, so that's two people in the mainstream media. We got David Carr, Times critic and champion of media, dies at 58. That's three people. You got CBS News correspondent Bob Simon dies, I believe, in a car accident. I'll put a link to that. And then you got former NBC Newser Bob Hager unhurt after head-on crash. So he was unhurt, but he was in an accident as well. So all of these mainstream media people, what is going on here, man? It doesn't take a conspiracy theorist to look at this and raise your eyebrow like, what's going on over there? Interesting that all these car accidents are happening, though, because this comes out. DARPA hacked GM OnStar to remote control Chevrolet Impala. This was actually a 60 Minutes piece. I'll put a link to this. What was his name? Hastings, the guy that was looking into the Bergdahl thing? You got to go back and ask yourself. U.S. Muslim, other news going on. U.S. Muslim student death sparks worldwide outrage. Apparently these Muslim students, at least the official story is they were killed over a parking spot dispute, or was it a hate crime? I don't know. Interestingly enough, you had accelerant used in Southeast Houston Islamic community fire. So I don't know if that's connected or, hate crimes on Muslim. I don't know. Put a link to it, though. Other news. Vaccine news. McShots with every meal. McDonald's offering free vaccinations. This come out from Your Newswire, be advised. Lovely picture they have on the thing there. U.S. media blackout. Italian courts rule vaccines cause autism. Is this a reliable source? I don't know. But then again, is the CDC or CNN or MSNBC a reliable source when they're telling you it doesn't cause autism? Over to financial news. How the Dow Jones Industrial Average fared on Friday. Looks like the Dow was up 46 points to end the week, 18,019.35. Dow 18,000 once again, headed towards 20,000. Maybe, you never know. Zero Hedge has this. Retail sales plunged twice as much as expected. Worst back-to-back drop since October of 2009, but it's a jobless recovery, I tell you. Excuse me. End Times Headlines has this. Moody's downgrades 5 Greek banks. Not going good over there. In fact, I got a backup link from Zero Hedge on that. Greek Fenmen, I don't know. Snuffleupagus warns, be ready for a clash. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. Other news going on. Senate Democrats come out against audit the Fed bill. Well, of course, that's never going to happen. That from Yahoo News. We got Halliburton to cut 6,500 jobs as crude hits $50 level. Put a link to that from Zero Hedge. Not a good time for Halliburton, and not a good time for McDonald's either. McDonald's say maybe that's why they're giving away free vaccines to try to boost sales. McDonald's sales rapidly decline as Americans reject faked food. Well, that's good news. February 11, 2015. Maybe it's because of this. This is not financial, but related to McDonald's. McDonald's sausage burrito contains more than 100 ingredients, including one chemical used in fireworks. Be advised, if you happen to eat McDonald's, you want to read that or we'll change. All News Pipeline puts this out. Now I want to thank the people who sent me this information last week because I didn't realize that several bankers were killed in that train crash in New York. Family of banker killed in train crash was told he was fine. Was car remotely stopped on the tracks? Another banker hit. Several bankers hit, actually. Go back to that DARPA link. Who knows, man? I got one more in the financial bin. Let's see. Good news here. Service members to get $123 million for unlawful foreclosures. Right on. Some good news for a change. And forgive me if I'm a little groggy. I've got a little bit of a cold right now. The weather here can't decide whether it wants to be 80 degrees or 20 below, so it's messing my head up. Over to New World Order Police State News. Sadly, got a ton of it. Chicago area police traumatize local family in their home. What else is new? This come out February 7 from We Are Change. We got from Counter Current News. Cop sits, this is a sad, tragic story if this is true. Cop sits on pregnant woman's belly, beats her until she has a miscarriage. says lawsuit. I'll put a link to this. This happened a while back, but that's a new lawsuit that was filed. Family asks cops to check on 74-year-old vet after surgery and then they break in and kill him. This happened in North Carolina. Call the cops at your own, risk, I guess. New rights violating operation by San Diego cops make stop and frisk look like child's play. This February 7th from the Free Thought Project. We got from We Are Change. Look at this. This is a sign of how times are changing. School cops ask judge to let them pepper spray and arrest unruly students for misbehaving. I did a lot of misbehaving in school. I never got pepper sprayed or, zip tied or anything. Times are changing. Just, be a good little slave or you're going to get pepper sprayed. We Are Change has this nanny state. Cops stop teens from shoveling snow without their government-issued permit. Again, when we were kids, we could shovel snow. We didn't have to worry about any cops or government. Times change. And CNS News has this Federal Election Commission to consider regulating online political speech. You heard that right. Part of that FCC internet control coming. We got this. Samsung's warning. Our smart TVs record your living room chatter. This from CNET, February 8, 2015. We were telling people years ago that these smart TVs were going to record your conversations. We were all called crazy conspiracy theorists. Well, the manufacturer actually comes out and tells you exactly what they're doing. CNN anchor says, our rights do not come from God. God is under attack. Our rights are under attack, rather. Our rights do not come from God. Well, of course not. They come from the government. How silly. End Times Headlines has this. New Bible versions remove Father and Son of God because it offends Muslims. My Christian friends, your thoughts on that? We Are Change. A couple of good stories, well, bad stories, but good stories at the same time. Alabama cop who paralyzed Indian citizen fired and arrested. My heart goes out to the man who was beaten, but, justice is coming to the law enforcement. Got another one. 2 Philly cops charged with brutality after video shows them beating a man repeatedly. I'll put a link to this right on. So there's a couple of good stories in the New World Order. Again, my thoughts go out to the beaten. Over to World War III news. Iranian forces advanced towards Israel. This 3 days ago from WND. What's up with that? Meanwhile, Israel warns anew of action against Iran. I'm not quite sure what that means. Maybe Netanyahu's going to draw us another bomb. Iran had the bomb 5 years ago, right, Netanyahu? So I don't know what you're complaining about. The Telegraph has this. David Cameron issues warning to Putin after ceasefire. Shake your finger at me. I guess the ceasefire is holding at this hour is what's being reported. Russia's railroad-based missile system to be equipped with Yars missiles, says source. This February 12, Yars missiles coming at you. Yar. Al-Qaeda freed 6 inmates in Yemen prison attack. Officials say over to Yemen News. Got a link to that from InfoWars. CBS News reports bombers make it onto Iraq base used by U.S. troops. Excuse me. This has been a big thing going back and forth. Don't really know what's going on with these U.S. Marines or what have you that have been taken over at this base. Very, sketchy information coming out. I'm hearing different versions of the story, so I don't know. America hell-bent on war. 80-year-old analyst has never been more afraid. Yeah, America's hell-bent on world domination, but it's not America. It's called the New World Order. America just happens to be leading the charge. Debate over using military force against Islamic State is 2016 foreign policy test. Okay, Stars and Stripes, it's all a game. That's all it is to these people. ISIS cuts 3 women's hands off and whips 5 people for using cell phones. No cell phone uses in the presence of ISIS. These people are crazy. Going back to the stories back in the general bin about, this fire down at this Islamic center and these kids apparently killed over a parking spot. Look at this, what's going on down in Texas. An update on Sharia law in Texas. Texas Sharia law court busted doing something highly illegal. I'm not so much worried about the story, but pull it up and look at the picture that the man is holding. It says, Islam will dominate the world. Freedom can go to hell. You could stick your Islam up your ass, in my opinion. Sorry if that offends anyone, but no, I'm not sorry. Freedom can go to hell. Go screw yourself. DVD copies of the interview are going to be dropped into North Korea from above. Right on, epic trolling. One more in the World War III bin. Obama signs veteran suicide prevention bill. That's so nice of you, King Obama, to actually care a little bit about our troops. You're a freaking scumbag and you know it. You might say, why are you getting so upset? That's a good thing. Yeah, I agree it's a good thing, but how long has it been? How many golf outings has our King Obama gone on while our troops have been killing themselves left and right, and now he signs suicide prevention bill, and how much of that's actually going to go to the troops. It's absolutely disgraceful that we have to have something called Wounded Warriors Project, and I applaud Mark Wahlberg and everyone else who's involved in that. That's not the point. It's disgraceful that we have to have commercials come on TV talking about send money in to help our troops, when our government sends our troops to die and to get all screwed up and to come home and have all these mental issues and then don't give a damn about them. And then every once in a while the government throws just a little bit of a bone to the troops. Treasonous, scandalous government. Ugh. Over to earth changes in 2012 news now. We had a couple of big earthquakes in the past week. We had 6.2 out of Taiwan. Had the 7.1 in the mid-Atlantic ridge. Like, biggest earthquake in that area in like 40 years or something. Like 5 miles deep. Apparently didn't produce a tsunami. I don't really understand that. But we had a 6.7 out of Argentina. 4.9 out of Mexico. I'll put this link in USGS. Big quakes on the left, small quakes on the right. A lot of small quakes going on. Speaking of earthquakes, I saw this article pop up. This is from 2011, but somebody posted it on Facebook. I want to share it. Safest place to be during an earthquake. Might not be where you think. For those of you interested in that, put a link to that. Study says 10 million gallons of BP oil is on the Gulf floor. This came out February 5th, 2015. 10 million gallons of oil. I guess that's the result of all the Corexit. Nobody's ever going to clean that up, I guess. Nearly 200 pilot whales stranded on New Zealand beach. 24 already dead. Be advised, mass beaching going on. Got all these people disappearing as something big, pulls. We always stays in the back of my mind. Yeah, Nibiru, Planet X, yeah, that's kind of far off, but like pole shift and things like that, you never know. I'm always out on the lookout for stuff like that. New radioactive clouds could be released from Chernobyl thanks to wildfires. This came out February 11th from Metro. Put a link to that. Be advised, this is a crazy story. Toxic orange cloud spreads over Catalonia after chemical blast. Take a look at that. That is just like an orange juice in the sky. That's crazy looking. Daily Mail has, why is the sun so upset? Giant filament turns solar surface into giant sad face emoji. Yeah, they got a picture of that. Sad face emoji. But smile, because the next link will be Say Cheese Hubble Telescope photographs smiling galaxy cluster. They sure do. They got a cool picture on that from Hawaii News Now. Crazy story here. Neil Armstrong's purse. First moonwalker had hidden Apollo 11 artifacts. Purse. Alan, your purse fell into the fire. Put a link to that from Space.com and from We Are Change. We've got UK scientists say aliens may have sent space seeds to create life on Earth. February 14. I don't know what are your thoughts on that. Over to strange and bizarre news. Got some strange news this week. Florida pastor plans to convert robots to Christianity. That's being reported by International Business Times. Boy, 5 years old, claims to have memories of a woman who died 13 years before he was born. That's kind of strange. A reincarnation, anyone? I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? The Telegraph has mass escape from Brazilian prison after women seduce guards. Well, that happens every now and then. Put a link to that. We're all a slave to our sex drives at points in our lives. I don't know. The Telegraph has B&Q. This is speaking of sex drives. B&Q, I guess, is a hardware store. Sends 50 Shades of Grey memo warning staff to expect soar in demand for cable ties and rope. I'm not making this up. I'll put a link to it. I guess 50 Shades of Grey is coming out, and hardware stores are concerned about supplies of cable ties and rope. Jailed Drew Peterson accused of hiring hitman to kill prosecutor. Drew, come on now. Speaking of prison, Charles Manson's wedding is off after it emerges that his fiancée just wanted his corpse to put on display. What do you expect from a woman who's going to marry Charles Manson, though? We got woman dies after dropping her iPhone in the bath while she was charging it. You iPhone people, what is the voltage on these chargers? I have got to know. Put a link to that. We got Montana lawmakers wants to expand indecent exposure law to include male nipples. No more male nipples in Montana. San Diego military news has this San Diego couple shares first ever male same-sex ceremonial first kiss. I don't know, put a link to that, but that is very relevant to the next one. Did you see what Joe Biden said this past week? In Iowa, Joe Biden gives a shout-out to an old butt buddy. I am not making it up. Joe is off the rails again. Pull it up. There's the video, 7 seconds long. Sure enough, that's exactly what he says. For all of you, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited lots of videos over the past week. Thank you to everybody who puts out content. At least pull it up, check over the title, see if there's anything over there you don't know about. Got some shout-outs this week. Shout out to the deputy who violated policy in Dog River Rescue. This happened, I guess, out of Ohio, Miami County, if I got that right. A deputy responded to a call that she wasn't dispatched to help rescue a dog and get him to a veterinarian running lights and siren. I applaud her efforts. I mean, they got the video of it, but you got to read the story to see exactly what she got in trouble for. Should not be in trouble, in my opinion. Shout out to the St. Louis City Fire Department. This past week, the St. Louis City Fire Department performed a rescue that was right out of the movie Backdraft. If you've ever seen Backdraft, where they pull up and there's a report of kids trapped in a vehicle and Steven runs into that fire and everybody's yelling at him, don't go in. Well, there was a fire around 5 o'clock in the morning a few days back where there was a report of 2 kids trapped on a second floor of a burning home. First company gets there in something like 3 minutes, and the parents are outside screaming, frantic that their kids are trapped up there in the fire. The first company radios to dispatch, say, we're going in to effect rescue. We got no lines off, meaning they're not taking any water into this fire. And they were really heroes. They brought both of these kids out alive. Tragically, one of the kids passed away at the hospital, and my thoughts go out to the family. But the St. Louis Fire Department, balls to the wall, man. I'll put a link to the interview with the fire chief, and I'll also put a video below that. Fellow YouTuber FirstAlarmPhotos STL put together a tribute video for St. Louis Fire Department 2014. Great video, 3 minutes long. And shout out to firefighters and first responders everywhere, the people who will run into almost certain death to try to save another life. These people are true heroes, in my opinion. Anyway, that's all I got for this week, guys. If you liked the report, please rate, thumbs up, or thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst of YouTube, you never want to see it again, please rate. That would help me move around. And also follow me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter for new show alerts, new upload alerts, live show alerts, breaking news alerts, always posted over there throughout the week. Sorry I'm a little all over the place this week, a little blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I got a really bad head cold going on. But it's that time of year, but the news must go on. Look at this on CNN right now. Suspect in Copenhagen attacks killed. If I got any friends out there in Copenhagen, please tell me, is that a gun-free? Do they not have weapons over there? Because one person gets killed and it's a terrorist attack? I live in a city where people get shot all day long. And it's like the local news doesn't even cover most of it. Anyway, guys, that's it for the madness. Sorry it's so long. I'm just kind of rambling all over the place. You guys have a great week. I would say great rest of the weekend, but it's Sunday. It's almost over. I guess tomorrow's President's Day, though, right? I believe. So 3-day holiday, weekend, whatever. Anyway, that's all I got. Take care. Stay safe. I will see you on the next one.